So, welcome, Jamie van Wyk to episode 4 of the Lockdown TV show. It's so great to have you with me today. And those who are tuning in, we are chilling with another SA under 21 player, Jamie van Wyk. So happy to have you here. I don't know if I should have a drum roll like, Jamie. I don't know if I should. Jamie, welcome.
Thanks.
You look great. I'm loving the lights. I'm loving the background. Did you get your hair done for me?
I did.
Well, I feel special. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Only yeah. So now that
I'm so glad. Okay. So first things first, you need to break the ice, right? So you have 1 minute. I'm gonna ask you questions. Top of your mind, go. Okay. Let me put my timer on you. All of you guys have failed this test because you guys keep giving me wrong answers. And literally when the phone beeps, there's like 2 questions left still. Okay. And go. Favorite meal?
pizza.
Favorite drink?
Iced coffee.
Favorite TV show?
It would have to be Friends. Yeah.
Favorite movie? Friends.
Your movie's tough, but I'll go with the genre. I'm a big fan of thrillers. There's just too many to pick from. So yeah.
Favorite song?
Favorite song right now? What's it called again? You're the One by Lane. Love that song.
Okay. Favorite book?
I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't read a book in the my book right now would probably be varsity books because I don't know how to find the time.
Okay, textbook it is. Favorite holiday?
It would have to be a holiday with my family at the South Coast.
I told you guys, you always fail this test, all of you.
Coming to
Always. You guys and your long answers, I tell you. For people who play so much sports, you'd think that the vocab is like limited to so much. But no, you ladies speak a lot.
very short. Very, very short.
So, Jamie, you from Benoni?
Yes.
Born and bred in Benoni, I assume. Tell us a little bit about growing up there and just how your childhood was.
Yeah, so I've been in Benoni. I mean, when I think of any memory as a childhood, even till now, it's in Benoni. I was born there, and I went to St. Dunstan's College, which is Rhinefield, Benoni. So yeah, it's been quite a ride. And right now, I'm in Pretoria, but I mean, Benoni will always be a close place to my heart. It's very close to the heart, yeah.
Are you an only child?
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I have a younger brother, so they're twins, actually. So a boy and girl that are twins. And they are 18 years old, turning 19. So they are 2 years younger than me. So they're in first year now, studying also.
So you're the older one?
Yep. Gotta do what you gotta do.
Big responsibilities.
Yep. There's a lot of responsibilities being the oldest one, you know. They actually get it very easily. Like me, being the oldest, I feel like everyone who's the oldest will understand what I'm saying right now. They'll relate. And
I don't, because I have 3 older brothers and I'm the only girl. So, you know, my conversation with Tumi, she's also the baby with 2 older brothers. So I'm like, you see, we get it. The last born jokes. I can't even joke with you, Jamie.
We'll find other jokes, don't stress. There'll be other things.
Oh gosh, that's funny. Okay, so you say your favorite TV show is Friends. Aren't they having a reunion now? I saw
They had their reunion, and yes, I watched the reunion. Honestly, that's one season I can watch over and over and over again, and I'll still laugh. Ugh, it's just the best.
Wait, so is it a whole season or is it an episode? Because I just saw like ads. I wasn't even sure when it's going on.
So the whole series is 10 seasons, and then the family just an episode, but it's I think an hour.
Yeah.
As if it's a and then they all come basically meet and speak about where they are now, their lives, they reenact certain scenes. Yeah, it's really cool.
Oh, that's nice. Okay, I should definitely catch that because I also watch Friends. It's one of many series I watch, like shows I watched growing up. So it's a really nice show. I was happy to see that all the characters are still alive. That was the one thing. Because a reunion doesn't work if the characters are, if one of them isn't around anymore, it doesn't feel the same way anymore.
I think they would have a reunion there. Like it just would not be the same.
It really, really wouldn't. So I was so excited when I saw that, and they've all aged and still look great, as well.
I know it's very well. And their personalities are almost a splitting image of their characters and Friends, right? Which I thought was really
Sure. Okay, so primary school, right? I'm guessing that's where you played sport and you kind of found your love for netball as well. Was that something that you stumbled upon? Or was it something that you even got introduced to even before primary school? Just take us through your journey in primary school, and how did you find yourself playing netball?
So I started playing netball, I would say in grade 2. So when I was 7, and I remember specifically physical education. So phys ed, it's an activity you do in school where you play sports. And I remember netball was one of the activities. Mm-hmm. And I remember just saying, wow, I love this sport. Like I need to get into it. So then I made the A side for grade 2s. And I remember my team, we had the exact same coach all the way till grade 7. We had the exact same team all the way to grade 7. And I honestly just the tournaments that we went to every weekend. It was so much fun. I mean, you go there with your girlfriends, cold mornings. I remember the cold, like hot chocolate mornings in your tracksuit, blankets. It's just such a good memory. I don't know. And then we won. We were a really good team, won our games. And I think that basically, started my netball career. If I didn't have also my primary coach and the fun, that we had, I don't think I'd be playing netball because it was just so much fun. So, yeah.
And is that where you made your friends?
Yes, a lot of my friends came from netball, definitely. And are still some of my friends today, so.
Oh, wow, man, that's absolutely fantastic. And you had the same coach. I mean, I'm guessing teams perform really well when there's consistency as well. You've had the same team, you've had the same coach. So the relationship, the telepathy, the synergy between you guys must have been completely dynamic and great for you.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely form a bond between everyone in the team, including the coach. I mean, the coach, I think, was our mom, our ex-mom.
Yeah. Strict?
Yeah, so we strict. No, like I think she was the most chilled coach ever, but that's what we as young players.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Because with the other netball players that I spoke to, some were like, okay, my coach was nice. Either my coach was tough, either my coach was really tough. So, and you're like, no, my coach is really nice, more like a mommy. I'm like, okay. So how do you think she brought the best out of you?
I think she just pushed us more than ever. I mean, we never skipped trainings, and we'd always end our trainings with a solid match. So as much as it's a fun sport, she really made us work on our skills. And we just end off every single one of our trainings on a good note by playing against one another.
Oh man. So I'm sure it was hard leaving primary school because you have all these great memories of hot chocolate, cold days, tracksuits, same team coach, and you really grew up with these people. And then now you transition into high school. Was that difficult for you?
It wasn't too difficult for me, if I'm being honest, because it was the same school. So St. Dunstan's is from grade 1.
And you stayed?
Yes, I stayed the full 12 years.
Okay, you see, okay.
So when I moved to the high school side, the bigger kids side, I obviously knew everyone around me, and a lot of the netball friends and people I played with also came to the high school. I mean, yes, there were the new faces that got added to the teams and stuff, but it wasn't too intimidating for me just because I also knew the older girls as well.
Oh wow. So did you then keep the same coach as well?
No. So this coach, my primary school coach, still coaches now in primary school. Wow. She's still there. Yeah. The games I played in my first year for TNL, she even brought her, I think, her grade 1 or grade 2s with her to come watch me play. It's just amazing to think, coached me, and now she's bringing her kids to watch. It was just amazing.
That's amazing. So that means you formed a really special bond with your coach. And I mean, it's great that you still keep in contact even, after high school.
Yeah, definitely.
That's so cool. So who then becomes your coach in high school?
I went through quite a few coaches because a lot of the grade 8 I started, that was very vague for me. I think grade 8, you're all in your head, you're just trying to get through grade 8. And then grade 9 came, and I was fortunate enough to be asked to play for the first team. And the first team coach was amazing because she also was my action netball coach. And then coaches came and filtered in. And eventually I got this one coach from grade 10 till matric who worked with me, and also a very good coach that I also stay in touch with. She is amazing. The skills that she provides for the ladies, she's a dedicated coach, let me tell you that. She'll speak to me and she'll be like, Jamie, is there anything that I can do to improve on? Can you come speak to the school? Can you come do a clinic? So it's very, we still interact. Yeah.
Sure. So, okay. So then you come from a primary school side, the same school, where there's so much consistency. And then you get into the high school end of things, where there's a bit of inconsistency with coaching. Was that a bit difficult in terms of being able to build relationships with those different coaches?
I think to an extent, because any new coach that comes into a new position, you don't know them. So you just start to, build that bond. But it doesn't take a lot for me to really open up to a coach. So, I mean, the beginning was hard, but give a few weeks and I'm sorted. I feel comfortable enough and they comfortable enough in me. So, I mean, it was difficult, the switching of coaches, but it's also nice to get different teaching styles, different teaching techniques.
Yeah.
So it only, benefits you as a player.
Oh, wow. Okay. So your highlights in high school, because I know with high school, the tournaments are more intense, right? And they're more competitive and they're more fierce as well. Maybe your highlights of high school, maybe one of your best games that you've ever played, or even a tournament highlight in high school?
Yeah, so St. Dunstan's is part of the private, it's part of the private league. So there isn't as many schools as the government side, but we did extremely well. And the one thing that sticks out for me quite a bit is there was a St. Andrews tournament. So St. Andrews tournament is where all the private schools come together and, you know, the best play against the best. And I remember we were the underdogs at one point. I think it was in my grade 10 year, and we were the underdogs. No one really knew of us, or we kind of just, you know, faded into the crowd. We did, you know, average. And then I remember that one year we won, and it was the best thing that St. Dunstan's could have had, because netball as a sport in St. Dunstan's grew tremendously.
Sure.
And then from that year, we continued winning those tournaments. So we started building a name for ourselves, and it was all from that one year, our first final, and we played against St. Andrews. So they were the top, you know, the top dogs.
Yeah.
And we ended up beating them. And it's just one of the tournaments that sticks out for me as a player, because the tournament's fun, but also just winning an entire tournament and building a name for your school is just great. Yeah.
So then how do you now find yourself playing for the Jaguars, one of the most successful, not even one of the most successful team in TNL? How was that transition? I need to know.
I have no idea. The transition was because I came from a private school, and a lot of the privates, you don't play against the government schools, and the government schools happen to be more competitive.
Yeah.
So our private school, yes, I learned so much, but I could have played against more competitive teams. So it was more, you know, fun, more laid back. And then when I came to varsity and I trialed for the Jaguars and I started playing for the Jaguars, it was such a big transition, because I'm not used to training this hard. I'm not used to training, X amount of hours per day for 5 days a week. I'm not used to that.
Yeah.
So for me, it was a big transition, but I adapted well. Weirdly enough, I adapted well. But yeah, it was two very different worlds.
Mm-hmm. And with varsity, because I know there's TNL, yes, but there's also varsity netball as well. Did you have also the opportunity to play in it, or had COVID already started being COVID?
So I played varsity netball my first year. So in 20, I managed to play. Yeah.
How was that? Because I know that with varsity netball, because varsity sports is so big in our country and it's televised, I know it's a bit of a transition for some players who come from high school, who are not used to, you know, interviews and TV and cameras, and then they have to also focus on the court, give their best, but so many people are watching you as well. Was that a bit of a challenge for you? Did that like really resonate with you as you were playing, or were you able to just block it out?
I think it is challenging, because the stadium that you play in, there's lots of people. I remember my first year, we were playing the Tucks, we were playing finals, and it was against Marty's. And the stadium was packed with spectators, and just having, you know, eyes on you, literally 360. It's insane. But the thing, what's nice about it is that it motivates you to work harder and to get that next interview, you know, throw that better pass. So for me, it was just an amazing experience. But yeah.
Who was one of the most fiercest competitors you ever came across on the court?
I think it would have to be, so it's a Corpsies player, and she's a goal attack, Lefebvre.
Lefebvre, yes.
Opponent, and yeah, she put me into my work.
Oh goodness, that must have been hard. but
Uh,
but as a player, I mean, that's a great moment of growth when you come across an opponent who takes you out of that comfort zone. They make you a better player and want you to step up even, even more, right?
yeah, definitely. When I played against her, because I see her, she's a strong player. And when I play against her, it just pushes you to be on her standard of netball, even though she's, played years and years and years of netball. Her experience compared to mine is completely different. But yeah, it definitely pushes you to work harder than you normally would at a normal social league game. But yeah, I don't even think she remembers playing against me. It was such a quick, I think I played for 2 minutes that game. It was very quick. But I remember it. Yeah.
So how has it been? I mean, do you feel like there was a bit of pressure? One, going to trials for the Jaguars. And two, you're part of the Jaguars. You have to live up to the fact that these are champions.
Yeah. So, funny story, when I left school, my only thing that was in my head was just, Jamie, please just make the under-19 Tucks team.
Mm-hmm.
Make the under-19 team. And then I heard, oh my word, TNL Charles is coming. And I went, oh my word, this didn't even cross my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Then I went to Charles, and all I said to myself was, Jamie, please just get into either the Fireballs or the Jaguars. Just please, just make the Fireballs or the Jaguars. And then I think the first squad announcement, I was first part of the Fireballs. I was like a Fireball player. And then they wanted to do trials again to just like change a few players. And I remember just telling myself, just please, just don't get dropped from any teams. Just stay. And then they pulled me up to the Jaguars. So that was one of my biggest achievements, because I never ever thought that I would make the Jaguars side. And then last year, when I played for the Jaguars again, also winning for the second time in a row, playing for the Jaguars, it's just such a good experience to play against really good opponents, but not even that, with the people you actually play with. I mean, the seniors that I play with in my team are just phenomenal, and I'm so fortunate enough to play with them. Also playing at that high level, it's such a good experience. Like, I cannot tell you, it's been amazing. It's been quite a ride.
Wait, okay, so you have to explain something for me, because when you think trials, you think you going for trials specifically to that team. How are your trials? Was it just trials for the Gauteng based teams, like one trial, or was it like separate trials, like Fireballs, Jaguars? Like, how was that, the trials?
Yeah, so the trials are together. So Joburg and Pretoria base, they trial together. But normally what happens is Joburg, on the same day, same trials, you play one another, do the same thing. But last year, I think the Joburg based players made the Fireballs and the Pretoria based players made the Jaguars, just in terms of distances and where the coaches stay.
Okay. Okay. So because you are now based at Tuks, it made sense that you fell into the Jaguars.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So you see, location saved you, Jamie.
Yes.
Saved by location. Okay, so I mean, that must have been, a really exciting chapter in your life, because you're now part of this championship winning team, and then you get onto the squad. You get your taste of what it is to actually win a whole league. I mean, take me through that moment when you won your first title as a player. You're a young player, you're part of this amazing team, you're being coached by, oh my gosh, Jamie van Wyk is a fantastic coach. I mean, tell me what was going through your mind.
I remember the finals 2 years ago. We were playing against the Stings, and I was on the bench, and it was the most stressful finals ever. I
I was
remember
there.
it was the
I was
oh really?
I was there.
But yeah, close. It was close. So I mean,
Yeah.
my anxiety levels were through the roof. It was really intense. And then as soon as that Basel buzzer went, I remember we all just ran on the court, started hugging one another. And it was my first win on that level. I can't even imagine, because there were also cameras around, and I'm not used to, this new scenery. I'm not used to all the spectators. I mean, having, all those things on the sideline, it really was an experience that I'll never forget. Yeah.
What are your parents saying? Were they there? Were they watching? Did you tell your family members as well, your extended family members, to watch? I mean, what do you do? Because it's such a big moment for you.
Yeah, so my mom and dad are my big supporters. I think every game they were there. And so were my family, friends, extended family. I had the biggest support system.
Wow.
And I wouldn't play that much, but it's okay. They were there. They were supporting me. It was just, to this day, biggest supporters, and I'm forever be grateful for them.
Wow, that's absolutely beautiful. So I take it that your parents inspire you a lot.
Yes, definitely.
What is it about them and just some of the values that they taught you growing up that makes it such a special relationship for you? Because I'm guessing that some of those values and principles they taught you, you're using them now as you are independent and you're out on your own in the world as well.
I mean, there's two different sides to it. With my dad, he basically just taught me to never give up. I mean, everyone's going to go through certain, obstacles or hurdles on the road, but you just need to stay positive and keep going, because there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And if things go wrong, just have faith and have hope, and know that, you're going to achieve a great thing one day, whether it's, a few days, weeks, months, years, you'll eventually get there. It's just a matter of time. Whereas my mom, she just pushes me to do the best that I can do. So she's helped me believe that I can achieve things that I didn't even know I could achieve.
Yeah.
I mean, when I did athletics in school, my mom was my biggest supporter, where she would be on the athletics track, and my last 3 laps of the field, she would run it with me. She would literally run on the side, wait for me to go towards the end. So I mean, just in that sense, just keep pushing yourself. You really can finish. You can cross that finish line. Just believe in yourself and know that you can achieve great things. So I mean, there's two different things with my mom and dad that bring so much more when they're together.
Oh man, that's so beautiful. I hope they get to watch this and smile when they, when you get to this part. No, because, sometimes as parents, you feel like you're not sure if you're doing a good job. But when your children speak like this about you in their absence, then it kind of like validates your parenting, that, you know what, mom, dad, you did the best you could and you did a great job. So I really hope they get to watch this episode. Kudos to Mama van Wyk and Daddy van Wyk as well. So I have to now ask, because you've tasted under 19 side, you at Tuks, you play varsity netball, you get drafted into the Jaguars, not 1 year, but the second year as well. You went back-to-back trophies with them. And then you get a call up to SA under 21. That must have been huge. I mean, you've got to tell me about that moment, and where were you? How did it happen? Spill the beans, give us all the juicy details.
I mean, SA under 21 still is my biggest achievement to this day. I still carry it very close to my heart. So from the beginning of my first year, there's been a lot of training camps. So the squad always changes. So I can't tell you an exact day that I was announced, because there were a few squads. So in 2019, I was picked to represent the SA under-21 side to play against the and then again recently against Uganda and the President's 12. But both those moments, when you're sitting there on that court and you're waiting for your name to be called, you're honestly the best.
Yeah.
Like, you get a bit of chills, really do. You get a bit of chills, and you just really take the moment in. There's a lot of gratitude, definitely a lot of gratitude.
What is the one thing that netball has taught you about yourself?
To believe I can go the extra mile, honestly. Like, netball has built character within myself. You know, things, and you know, all the hard work, it really pays off. It really does. So if I get somewhere, I look back and I say, all that time was worthwhile. All those nights training, all those training camps that I went to, it's just built me as a person, and it's made me stronger.
And finally, your message to an aspiring netball player. I mean, someone who might be watching this and who's going to be so inspired by your journey and your resilience, your hard work, and your tenacity as well, and just your focus when it comes to the job at hand. What message do you have for someone who just wants to be like Jamie?
I think as a little girl, one thing that you need to do is completely and fully believe in yourself. Just know that if that is something that is unrealistic and you cannot achieve, then you're not going to achieve that. You need to be able to believe in yourself, say, I can, and you will get there. Also, have the right mindset. You know, your mind is your weakest opponent. If you have a poor mindset, you're going to not achieve certain things, because your mind is so strong. I cannot tell you how strong the mind is. If you have a positive mind and you really put in the work that your mind is telling you to do, you will achieve great things.
Yeah. Oh, man. I love that. Finally, quickly, you have 5 seconds to redeem yourself. Favorite player or role model?
Proteas.
Favorite coach?
From a defensive point of view, I would say Coach Lana.
And favorite quote?
Your only limit is your mind.
And that's how we leave it. Thank you so much, Jamie. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for coming on to the Lockdown Show. Cheers. Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.